Agents of the Resistance. We must rise. We must resist.
Hello YouTube, it is your pal the Two-Wheel Maniac, and I'm on a 690 Enduro. Comfort. Wow, this seat is a brick. Let's start off with that. The seat is a brick. I feel like I am sitting on a 2x4 wrapped in a wet, soggy towel. The suspension is very stiff, and it feels much taller than my KLR 650, probably due to the fact that the suspension is so much more stiff. But we do have that 6th gear, which is nice. Now, unlike the 1290 Super Duke, and even the Diablo, which had no windscreen either, I am getting bombarded with wind blasts. This is not a highway cruising machine. The foot pegs are up a little high. I would definitely want those lower just a smidge. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. The dash illuminates quite nicely though, I will give it that. So yeah, comfort, it's not a comfortable bike. Sliding back a little bit in the seat makes it a little bit better. It does go brap, brappity, brappity, brap, brap though. Controls. Throttle's very snappy. Brakes don't give a whole lot of feel, but that's probably due to the knobbies. Technology, I'm pretty sure ABS is the only feature this guy has. I don't think there's riding modes. In fact, I know there's not riding modes. I think this would be a fun bike to supermoto. Engine. I will say this, the engine is awesome. For a big single, it definitely has a lot more spirit to it than that of my KLR. I like the engine a lot more. The engine response is real nice. It wants to rev and pull you back, and it'll do 60 like it's nothing. Because that 6th gear is real nice, even though I haven't needed it. Now the one thing I am not a big fan of is the handling. I think it's partly because it's knobby tires again, so the transition from corner to corner is a little bit more pronounced, if that makes sense. And it's got a little wobble action going on. I'm just going to blame the knobbies, because in the corner it feels pretty good. Not as planted as the sport bike tires I'm used to, but still pretty planted. I love the engine. I love the engine. First time I rode one of the 690s was the Duke 690, and I'd never ridden a single, and I didn't like it. Well, now I own a KLR 650, so this is very similar. there's a whine coming from it, and you can kind of see there's a little bit of a wobble. It's kind of unsettling. I'm not sure what causes that, but regardless. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick recap again. I go a little bit more in depth this time versus the first time I kind of went into things. Just because I was so concentrating on the bike and riding it. And getting comfortable on it, but I'm much better now. So, recap. Comfort. Foot pegs are too high, seat is way too hard, and there's no wind protection whatsoever. It is a dirt bike that is street legal. It is a giant dirt bike that is street legal. But it's pretty lightweight, so I'll give it that. Controls, throttle responsive, brakes are responsive, clutch feels good. Vibrations are pretty down. I mean, my butt's vibrating a little bit. I'd probably go numb after about 45 to 50 miles. But I think aftermarket seat's all you need to alleviate that. Was on the controls, throttle, brakes, all good. Dash is okay. You get giant speedo, a little gear indicator, and an analog tack, so that's good. Very basic, very dirt bikey when it comes to the gauge. Technology, not a whole lot here. This is a fuel injected, give it and go bike. There's not going to be a whole lot. There might be ABS, there might be traction control, but I don't think so. Look in the description and the annotation for correction on that if there is one. Engine, I love the engine. For a big single, it's lively. Vibrations are low thanks to the counterbalancer. Vibrations are not very harsh. More harsh than I think my KLR. Only because the KLR kind of has a sweet spot around 3,500, 4,000, where it's very complacent and very smooth. It goes where you want it. I bet off-road this thing would be a blast on like fire roads and some hard-packed gravel. So yeah, there's only a lot more in the description about the different categories. I had a blast. It took me a little while to get used to the way the bike handled. Yo, these people cannot ride, man. We're in stagger formation. Except for we're not staggering. Someone up front doesn't know what lane position to be in. So that was the recap. More information in the description, as I'm going to have to think about this bike a little bit more than I did the 1290. But I think this would be a blast of a bike to turn into a supermoto. Lower it just a little bit, which I think will help with that high-speed wobble when shifting gears, because that's where it comes in. And I don't know if it's just because I'm doing something funny, I don't know, but that seems to be where I get into a little bit of a shake. Other than the fact, well, I guess the fact would be the headwind is pretty intense. I'm definitely, it's that, those two guys in the gray keep flipping. So yeah, as a supermoto, I bet you this thing would be a blast. I wish it came that way from the factory, I really do. But as a dual sport, I'm not used to riding dual sports with really knobby tires, although that's a video coming soon. So yeah, I really want to do some Dukes. We'll try the 390s next. I'm your pal, the two-wheel maniac. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and I'll catch you on the flip side.